Welcome back to the vendor table.
What's up?
What's up, lady?
Hey.
We have a guest.
Ta-da!
We're here with Jon Suarez, DJ MC, partner at Absolute Entertainment.
That's me.
One of the biggest,
Premier?
Premier
That's a good word.
wedding entertainment companies, or entertainment, right? Like
You guys said it, not me.
yeah, on Long Island in New York, and now in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Expanded to Florida.
Two of the biggest markets in the world.
Ooh.
Miami and Long Island.
I was waiting for you to say, yeah, daddy. But
Yeah, daddy.
there it is.
There it
Okay,
is.
organic. Well, we're here. You are our second guest ever. So
Crazy.
Crazy.
And I love what you guys are doing, by the way. You guys are doing amazing stuff. I've been a big fan of the pod, so being on it is dope. So thank you.
Cool.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank
And
you.
joining the shit show.
Yeah. The chaos.
Welcome to the chaos.
Welcome to the chaos. So, being a DJ MC of the best day of somebody's life.
Yeah.
Is a big honor, right?
Absolutely.
Us being photographers, we're there documenting, a day, and it's like really exciting, and we get to, give people memories that will last forever. Now, as a DJ MC, you have that same honor, because what do people remember the most about their wedding day, or the guests remember most about the wedding day? There's two things: food and music.
Music first.
Fuck yeah.
So, with that being said, we wanted to kind of get into it, and like, how did you get into weddings?
Long story. So not so long of a story, but so I was back in college. I was your typical like college jock that thought he was the next Avicii and picked up a set of turntables and would play music at like all the college parties and like our football house and things like that.
So like every ex-boyfriend I ever had.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sick.
Exactly. So sorry to bring that trauma back, but yeah. So
Massive PTSD, dude.
basically that, and then from there I would come home in the summers and things like that. A lot of my friends, they were club promoters. They went through that whole phase, and they were club promoting and booking DJs. So I had a lot of good support. I would get booked at clubs and local bars, things like that. And then I got connected with Kevin from Absolute through my sister, actually. She was a close friend of Kevin's daughter. So she was like, hey, my friend's dad owns this DJ company, like, they're really good, maybe you want to like connect with them and so on and so forth. So I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I went, I met with Kevin, everything was all great, although like I totally failed like my music knowledge test. Like I'm just sitting there like, you mean I can't play my Tiesto remixes to all of these songs? But no, so, he put me through like a whole thing. He's like, hey, you're a good kid. Like, I'll teach you the fundamentals and like get you out there, get you some exposure. So I did that, and I kind of fell in love with private events ever since. Like, I had a great career, and I still do clubs every now and again, and I got to travel the world. I got to play with celebrity DJs, so like I got to live like a rock star lifestyle for a little bit, but private events were always so awesome to me, being able to connect with clients and like do things on more of like a, I guess, business side. So when I graduated college, like he was like, oh, come into the office, like learn how to do marketing. He had a marketing background, a corporate marketing background. I ended up working in finance for a couple of years as like my real job, quote unquote. And then
the real job.
Yeah. So we both came from like corporate backgrounds, so we both like got along really well, and we got to like implement that into how we ran the DJ business. Nice. And it's all that is history. Now we're just rolling out 1,000 events a year. And
incredible.
That's awesome. How many years have you been in the business, the wedding business?
I think I'm going on like 12, 13 years.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
damn, dude.
Yeah. I started when...
And you're still young.
19. Yeah, I'm 32. So
you're younger than me.
Yeah, I'm still in my prime, I guess.
Wow.
You've been in this, years left. So you've been in this for longer than both of us have, and we're older than you. So like, fucking kudos to you,
and you're
dude.
not burnt out.
Are you?
Are you?
So there's a good balance that you have to, and you guys know the deal. Like, you know what burnout is. Like, regardless
we just did an
episode. Regardless of how long you're in the business, like, you know what burnout is and you know what burnout isn't. Like, I think you learn that over time, and you learn how to kind of deal with it and manage it. So I found my purpose in entertaining and being there and running a business and being able to expand and just like doing what I love to do. So I think so long as you get to manage and balance that out, you'll be okay. In
Hell
working.
yeah.
Nice.
I think we're all just doing our best.
We're trying our best.
We're just trying.
We're trying so hard.
We're trying so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, like DJs, it's a lot different, and obviously entertainment companies are a lot different than us. Like us being independent business owners, like we have ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys of like busy season and stuff like that. Does the the wedding entertainment industry, does that ever slow down as much? Or like now you're in Florida, I know Florida season's a lot different than Long Island season. So are you stopping at all?
We'd never stop. And it's one of those things, like, even if it's just like, just going off of New York, we are so busy with events once Memorial Day weekend starts through the end of like November. And then it just becomes sales, right?
Yeah.
Like you just get into full sales mode for the next, year, 2 years, 3 years even. So, we're always busy in one way or the other, but taking on the Florida project or operation, however you want to call it, our seasons actually flip. So we're super busy with events from, I would say, September, October through April, May, and then we get busy up in New York. So yeah, my life is going to always be busy.
It's a little busy right now.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But since you were just talking about the Florida operation, have you found, now you've done weddings all over, right? Do you think that New York weddings are the craziest that you've ever done? Or would you say that there's like a crazier?
Define crazy. That's like the first thing. But I would say this about New York weddings. The approach to New York weddings are like, we want to party the entire time. From the minute we get there to the minute we leave or get forced out, like we want to be on the dance floor and we want to party and we want to have a drink in our hand and we want to have a good time. In Florida, it's a little different. It's more like, oh my God, I'm getting married at the Biltmore Hotel, or I'm getting married at the Breakers, and look at all of my trumpeters and my violinists. And as we walk into the cocktail hour, like it's very showy down there versus up here. Like, yeah, it could be showy every now and again, but it's about the party. Yeah. Like people will leave your wedding in New York saying, holy shit. I had a great, I was on the dance floor.
You swear freely.
I could swear freely? Okay,
yes.
good. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it prim and proper.
No.
I don't want to mess up mother-in-law or whatever.
No, we put the E rating on everything.
Oh, E rating. Okay, good. Yeah, so
you're good.
Yeah, people will literally just want to be on the dance floor and fucking party.
There it is. That's
from
what
the
we want.
minute you get there to the minute you leave in New York. Down in Florida and in some other places, like you got to wait it out a little bit, which could be good or not so good. So there's just like a different structure and a different approach to things in other areas other than New York. I'll always love New York events just for the fact that we get to rock it out for the minute you get there. Oh yeah, we go hard.
I mean, you've seen Mike and I go pretty hard.
Yeah.
Well, maybe me.
Yeah. You guys are out there like on the floor.
We're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of it.
I go in there.
Yeah, she's like the feral photog. It's like the perfect name for her.
At least you own it. You got to own it.
Yeah. She owns it. All right.
We know.
She's the chick with the tattoos in the middle of the dance floor. She's good.
We'll always be able to find Lauren. We'll always be able to find her.
Where's Latrell? She is. She's over there.
Like I've shot weddings in all over the country, and no one does weddings like New York, and that's honest. And
I know everyone's waiting for me to come at Florida, but I think I've already done it enough, so I'm just gonna sit this one out. I'm gonna leave Florida alone.
Leave Florida to
Can
me
we
for
not
now,
get
for this
canceled in
episode.
Florida? We have a lot of Florida professionals following us just to hate her. Just by the way.
No, don't do that. Listen, I'm in Florida now, and I could vouch for Lauren. So leave Lauren alone. All right.
Leave Lauren alone.
Leave Lauren alone.
Okay.
So, what? This is a pretty broad, general question.
Yeah.
Like, what makes a good wedding DJ? Like, really, what goes into?
I want to.
Okay, go ahead.
Only because we have this thing, and I want to explain to John like what this is that we do. We gauge how good a party is based on our lens focal length.
Yes,
outstanding.
So this is funny, but we could. This is a great subject to talk about. But Lauren is so correct. So the longer the focal length of the lens, so our lenses go 24, 35, 50, 85, 135, right? And even to 200, right? The longer the focal length, the higher the number, the worse the party. So we will be on the dance floor and be like, this is a 135 kind of night.
Yikes.
That's really bad. And then we'll go, this is a 50 kind of night. 50's pretty bad. Then when you start getting down to like the lower numbers, like 24, or even if you get a 16,
you get a 16,
you get a 16
How
millimeter
many
night.
absolute 16s do you guys have?
A lot.
most of them.
A lot.
Good. Okay. Good.
With
Right,
you,
awesome.
a lot. Yeah,
Most of
like your
them.
parties are good.
And we're
got a
not
good
just
crew.
saying
We got a
that to
good crew.
try and fluff you up. Like,
No,
We appreciate it.
We as photographers, we have a scale.
That's a scale,
and
yeah.
it's the lens length scale,
Yikes.
the focal length
All right.
scale, right?
Get it.
So
photographers will know.
They'll get it.
you guys will
They'll
know
get
that
it.
one. No, but like, what makes a good wedding DJ? Like, what goes into it? Like,
I think the number one thing to start is, I mean, crazy concept. It's music knowledge. Like, you have to have a really vast, deep knowledge of music to DJ a wedding. There's such a variety of, guests, from all different ages to, you could have a biracial wedding too. Like, there's so many, layers to that you really have to be prepared for. So, your music knowledge, like crazy concept, you have to know music to be a good DJ.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
Right? Like, can you imagine that?
yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy to
I've
think.
seen some parties where you can tell they don't.
100%.
Yeah.
And like the guests will know it too.
Yeah.
Like, if you suck as a DJ and your music knowledge sucks, like, they'll know, like, why would he play this song and then play this song? So I think that's the number one thing, is just really having a deep knowledge and deep range in the music that you can put together. I think the second thing is not having such a fucking ego. I think that's
wow. I love that.
and
wow.
and I hate to like press all you DJs out there, but
Tell me more.
wherever you
Talking
come
to your
from, wherever you
microphone.
come from, you could be. I don't care if you were the best club DJ 15 years ago when you opened at Club Glow for Avicii, or whether or not like you got to play a side stage at Webster Hall, with Dream Hospital. I don't know. I think when you start to do private events and you start working towards a different kind of purpose, and you're really there to serve a client, serve the bride, serve the groom. Like you guys mentioned, this is their biggest day of their life, right? So I think checking your ego is the biggest thing, because I've heard so many stories about like, oh my God, yeah, I had a DJ at my wedding, and like, we requested all of these songs and he didn't play them. Or like, so I did a podcast a few weeks back for a planner down in Florida, and she was like, yeah, the DJ at my wedding, my husband asked him for a song and he refused to play it. And after like 4 or 5 times asking, I had to go up and ask the DJ to play the song. And it was like Shipping Up to Boston by Dropkick Murphys.
Which is a fucking awesome
it's
song.
a
An
great
awesome
song.
song.
You
A great song.
Yeah, you could stop
So,
that at
like-
any point. Yeah.
She went up to him and she was like, hey, my husband really wants to hear this song, because like his college friends and all of them, like they would always like, they raged out to it. So they loved it. It's like, can you please play the song? Like, can you please do what you were hired to do?
Yeah.
Play the music we want to hear. And like his response was, your husband has interesting music taste.
Yeah, no. That's,
Straight to jail.
Yeah.
Dude, like, right to, like, so that's the big thing. Like, you have to understand that you're there to serve your couple.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick about it.
Yeah.
Don't be a garbage person.
I don't care.
Be a garbage person.
I don't care if you think you're the best DJ ever. I don't care if you think you know better than your client. Play the music that they want to hear. It's that simple.
What a fascinating concept.
What a fascinating, like, you can be very successful if you just do the job you were hired to do.
Amazing.
Instead of thinking that you're better. So those are like the 2 things I would say are the most important.
Love that. Yeah. Check your ego at the door.
Check your
Check
ego, man.
your ego.
Yeah. We do that too as photographers. We got to check our ego at the door.
Some of our followers would probably beg to differ, but
Yeah, they probably think we have egos.
they think you're arrogant and I'm pretentious.
So, yeah.
Get over it.
Get over it.
Get over it.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the next question.
You asked this one because this is your thing. You hate this.
Can we stop? Can we fucking stop playing September at weddings? Please.
I don't think I'm going to lead the charge on this one.
Oh, God, you
'Cause
like
I
it?
would. So, all right.
It's not, wait, I know this. It's not that he doesn't like it or that he likes it. Bitches love it.
Why do bitches like it?
So, it's just one of those songs, man.
Oh God.
It's like Shout.
Yeah, well, Shout I could understand, but Shout's a party song. Like I feel like September's like
it's very nostalgic.
Starting the wedding out, and I'm like, I could pick the 5 songs that start weddings out.
That one.
That one.
That's number one. Yeah.
Don't stop till you get enough right.
I got this feeling.
Oh God.
That one.
I would never play those.
Like the troll song. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
That one is constant.
Yeah. Those are 3 off the top of my head.
So September is like, here's the thing, and this is just like applies to music in general that's very overplayed. You can find new ways to like play those songs. There are tons of really great remixes. There are great music producers and DJs that like create edits to songs that are much more fun and like give you a little twist in some which way. Yeah. Where it can still give you that nostalgic, like cool, like, oh yeah, I'm at a wedding, of course September's playing, but it could be like a little bit more fun and like, you know, you ever like, be out in a social event or at a wedding or whatever, and you're like, oh, I love this song, but like, oh, there's a different beat behind it, and it's kind of cool. Like, you can be creative, and I think that's the cool part about like being a DJ is like you can get really creative. There's a lot of technology within our softwares nowadays that allow us to like mix songs up and use, a vocal of a song and then a beat of another song, so long as they kind of fit within the same key and sound okay. Like, you can be creative and you can be fun. So I think for songs like that, as long as you kind of switch it up a little bit and you're not always playing like the entirety of the original song and just beating it to death, I think you could still keep those songs in play without like wanting to bash your head against the wall.
That's a great idea.
Right?
Yeah.
And great advice.
That's kind of how I put it. And I would never start a wedding with September. You got to work into it.
Thank God.
You got to work into it. You have to work into it.
Thank fucking God.
You have to.
Now, do you have a least favorite song that like you refuse to play? As a DJ, do you have a song that you were like, no, I'm not fucking playing that?
Like not if a client asks for it and you're saying no, but like if there's a song that everybody else usually plays that you just like fucking wouldn't.
I think with me, some of the older slow songs are getting a little cringy. Like, I don't want to hear Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis for the millionth time.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to hear Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton.
Okay.
Like, there are some songs there, like the older songs, where I'm just like, there's so much good music out in the world. I don't need to hear this.
Yeah.
Like,
you could
play something different.
There's some really good slow songs.
And granted, like, listen, if the couple requests it and, they love it, fine.
Yeah.
But, again, I think so many DJs are so fixated on like what has worked in the past where they're not willing to kind of venture out and play newer things and make that the new standard.
Yeah.
Like, you go out to a wedding and you're going to hear September. You're going to hear Shout. You'll hear The Way You Look Tonight by Frank Sinatra. Like, play other songs.
Yeah.
Even if it's a new song that you think is really going to go well, and like, you never know. Like, I'll have people come up to the DJ booth and be like, hey, what was that song you just played? So because I chose to play that song instead of the typical Can't Help Falling in Love or whatever it is, it opened their eyes to new music too. Yeah. So that's something that, a lot of DJs should do. They shouldn't just like fall back into, oh, well, this always works. Like, I'm going to play it.
Yeah. So I think that kind of goes into like the next question that we had for you, which is like, what's the best way to handle a lackluster dance floor? What happens when everything dies?
We only ask the serious questions here.
So, I mean, it's hard, right? Sometimes.
Sometimes you can't shake it.
I'll put this out there. We're done with group involvements. This might be one of those things where like, what do you mean we're done with the group? No, like, I'm going to just put that out there. Like, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with group involvements. No more cha-cha slides.
It's 2023.
No more electric slides. No more Cupid shuffles. We're done with all that stuff. So, I mean, if we're opening up a dance floor, you could use a slow song, for the couples, whatever it may be. If you do an oldie, whatever. I know I'm completely contradicting myself on what I said before, but that's just more in terms of favoritism. But that's really a good practice to maximize your dance floor to start. Other than that, play familiar music. You know what I mean? Like, things that will maximize your dance floor. We'll get people out there, and then you can kind of see where the crowd lies, and then from there kind of say, okay, well, I think I'm gonna go into this now, and just keep it to more familiar music. That will always kind of spark your dance floor a little bit, and then you can kind of venture out into. And it also depends like on what time, like if you're early on in the wedding, in the middle of the wedding, or later on the wedding, like then you'll kind of want to attack a certain demographic in your crowd. But
there's some people are just like not dancing crowds.
Some people are not dancing crowds, and it's okay. Like I've had so many weddings, and like early on in my career, I was mortified if people didn't dance. So mortified. Like I would be there and I'd be like, oh my God, no one danced the whole night. Like I'm going to get a bad review. I'm going to get fired. This place, like they all hate me, like whatever. And there would be a line of people ready to leave, but they would stop by the DJ would be like, oh my God, I had the best time.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there. I'm like, what? Are we at the same wedding right now?
It's like, sir, you didn't leave your seat.
You didn't leave your seat. No, I heard good music. I was able to talk and see people that I haven't seen in 20 years or 10 years. I get to see my, granddaughter or whoever it is, like get married. Like you don't always need to have a crazy barn burner of a wedding to really have a good time. I think there are some people that aren't just partiers like that. And you have to kind of accept that as long as you play good music and, the vibe is right, people don't have to be crowd surfing and doing all that to make it a good wedding. I think people will enjoy themselves either way.
That's fair.
I don't want to shoot.
But we want people crowd surfing.
Huh?
I'm just going to say that.
I don't want to shoot those weddings.
I don't want to shoot those weddings either.
You don't want to shoot those weddings?
No.
We need crowd surfers.
As you see, like as a DJ, you could kind of, not to say hide behind your booth, but you could kind of like, you could do this, like bob up and down and like, it seem like you're doing stuff as a photographer. If there's no one on the dance floor, you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What am I doing? What do you do? Like you kind of just, you are standing around. So
100%.
So it's tough. It's tough for us, but that's cool from your perspective because that's something that like, we don't think about. I'm going to skip the next one, but we're going to go into what. Now, do you have an all-time favorite song that you have to play at a wedding that like, it's like, shit, I got to play this. It doesn't matter the night, anything like that. Good dance floor, bad dance floor. I have to play it.
Could be a current song too, just like a current fave.
I think the song I personally love to play, as it gets a little like later on in the evening too, where like people are really ready to turn it up, is "Be Faithful" by Fat Man Scoot.
I don't know if I
Got
heard it.
$100 bills, get your hands
Oh, yeah.
up.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good song. Yeah, that's a good song.
And then like that really gets to like segue you into more of like the fun like hip hop.
I love that I never knew what that song was called.
But
we knew it.
Yeah,
Be Faithful.
we knew it.
Yeah. So that's like
you could transition that song into a song.
Wait, there's a video of me dancing to that song.
That's a song on our vendor table stories that she's going insane to.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So I was just your personal Shazam for that.
There you go.
Great.
So
that's your.
It's just such a party rocker, man. Like, and again, you can go so many different ways with it too. So, I think that's like the point of the night from my experience, where it's like, okay, this party's going to turn on its head and we're going to start to have some fun, because you can go to old school hip hop. You can go to even like boy band stuff if you really want to. Like there's a lot of different music that you can go to from there.
I mean, we all know how I feel about that.
Oh boy, we're gonna have to learn a little more. But I think that's just like one of those songs you could really gauge the crowd to and see where their energy's at. And in more times than not, it just pops off.
Nice.
And
Word.
That sets the set the tone. Yeah,
I like that.
Oh, my turn. I'm gonna skip that one. What's your wedding day hot take? Like, what's something that the masses hate or that you love, or something that
they love and I hate?
They love and you hate.
We're gonna talk about grand entrances right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
All right. So I know how fun it may seem when like you have the wedding party come out in pairs and all that stuff, and you want to give them like their own songs to walk out to and do a dance to or whatever the hell they want to do. It is the most, I won't say annoying.
You can say annoying.
I'm going to use another word. It's a shit show.
Okay.
Because when you do that, you let everybody pick their own song, right? And you only get like 5 to 6 seconds of the song before it has to be a new song and the new like pair walks out.
Yeah.
And then they pick like one person picks a 50 Cent song, the next picks a Bon Jovi song, the next picks an Avicii song, and you're just sitting there and you're just going through all different tempos and styles of music, and it's horrid.
Yeah.
Like, I always advise the couples, I'm like, have some fun with your entrances if you want. Like, I'm not trying to like sit here and say entrances aren't fun. They could be a lot of fun, but you have to have like a progressive energy to your entrances and like reach like a peak point, because you want the peak point to be the bride and groom coming in, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to have to dip down like to the maid of honor and best man song and that be like, you know, something horrid like Marry You by Bruno Mars or whatever it may be, or some
that song can go.
You give like, I feel like if you give your bridal party a little too much freedom with stuff like that and you don't structure it appropriately, I feel like the entrances are one of the most important parts of the night, because it really like sets a tone for energy throughout the event. And like everyone's in cocktail hour and they get to the reception and they're all like, you know, they're all bopping, like having a good time, like they're ready to get the party started. And I feel like if your entrances like aren't if it flops, then like it just kind of, the mood dies down.
Do you suggest like just doing one song for the entrance? Like,
I say
for
maybe
the bridal party?
give your parents a song, right, to come into. That way they can kind of do their thing, and if they want to throw it back or whatever it is, fine. Give the bridal party their own song, you know, and you can have that more like fun and consistent. You know, like example, do like Bring 'Em Out by T.I. That's like a popular song. It's a fun like bridal party song. And then have a separate one for the bride and groom.
Yeah,
I think 3 songs is great, especially if you have a big bridal party. Like, if you have 12 groups in your bridal party, you want me to play 12 different songs within like a minute.
Barf.
Plus the parents,
That's
plus
like
the bride and groom.
I have like sensory issues with sound, so like that would just set me into overdrive.
Overload.
It's up. And again, like the layout of some venues, like from where the doors are to where the dance floor is.
They're far.
How much of the song are you getting at? Like, what's the point of it?
Yeah, it's like 2 seconds.
That's one of my things.
Now, do you like a lot of couples have been doing, or like they've been having their bridal party do like the big group entrance all together?
Cool.
Do you like those as opposed to like each like announcement, like each bridal party member coming out?
I mean, I think it's smooth. You know, I think it's cool when like the whole wedding. I like to do bridesmaids all at once though, and then groomsmen all at once.
Yeah.
Because then we could switch up the vibe a little bit. Like, you can give the girls like their fun girly song if need be, and then the guys can have their, you know, their song too. So if it's going to be the whole bridal party, I would probably prefer it be bridesmaids all at once, then groomsmen all at once. Because then you could have a little bit more fun with
instead
music
of just like a whole bridal party stampede.
Yeah, because then it's like exactly, like it's a stampede of people, and then like
they don't know where to look either.
Yeah.
Like,
how tough is that for you guys to photograph?
it's really hard.
Yeah,
actually.
right. Now it's just like I'm just like.
I don't
You're
really.
just like shooting. You're just whatever.
Yeah,
because it never comes out right. You don't.
Yeah, you get the lead 2 people, and then it's usually just like.
But honestly, photographically, no one gives a shit about
no
the
one
bridal
cares.
party.
We
sorry, guys. Like, I know, but
we said this on a past episode.
No one gives a
like
fuck.
no one gives a shit about the bridal party.
Yeah.
Like it's the bride and groom's day. Like
it is.
They're there for the bride and groom kind of thing.
Yeah, I like it though. I mean, it's as long as you can get them out. And I also like to like lead with the maid of honor or maids of honor if they're multiples, and the best men, like have them at the front of the line and then just let them lead them out.
That
way
makes sense.
They can still get their shine a little bit, because you always like to acknowledge the maid of honor and best man. But I think that's like just a cooler, more efficient way of doing it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Sick.
All right, now this is a sensitive topic in the world today, okay? But it's affecting every industry. It's affected photographers, videographers, all that stuff. But AI is here.
Oof.
AI is
We
taking
gotta
over.
talk about it.
AI has taken over in the last year.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, I'm sure I don't know anything about the DJ world or the MC world or anything like that, but has AI or will AI affect DJs in the wedding industry if it has not already?
I don't think so much in the wedding industry. I think in other spaces it might. You know, I think if you're having like a backyard graduation party or having this or having that, like where you can just open Spotify and like have your AI DJ play a playlist for you, like that's fine. But weddings, like, you kind of need that human element from my experience, just for the details of things. I think it would be really hard to rely on AI for a wedding. Just my personal...
Especially for like an MC, like your energy will be the thing that like sets the tone.
Right.
Essentially, like if you have a bad MC, like it's gonna flop.
Yeah.
I don't think so much it would affect MCs. I think just more on like the music.
Yeah, that
thing.
too. But
yeah.
And not for nothing, I think us as humans, like, we still want to have some type of control. And I think with just AI in general, you lose your control in a sense, where like you could go up to the DJ and request a song and be like, I really like want this played, but like the AI is just sitting there playing through his shuffled music or whatever it's going to be. So I mean, I think you want to have that human element present. So I don't know necessarily in the wedding industry if AI is going to really take over. I could be completely wrong. AI could come in like freaking iRobot and completely,
I mean, that's where I see it
ruin
happening.
all of our lives. But
I could see it.
I don't think so.
I could see it aiding in certain like how as photographer now we have AI editors and stuff like that,
for sure.
and like I'm sure with DJing maybe it will help you mix a song better or like, you know, hit a beat at a certain time or something like that, where there'll be a program where it could help with that, or maybe a suggestion like you could bridge songs. Or
they have that though, like they have like for things like that, they have that in certain like hardwares and like controllers and stuff like that. Not that it's specifically AI, but like they have certain things where like you could sync your beats together and you could do certain things with your tempo and change the key in the song. Like there's things you can do, but I just don't see it being so prominent. I don't see it being so game changing. To be very honest with you.
No, I mean, I've seen like a lot of these like intense AI visuals during like a lot of shows recently, and wondering if maybe something like that would be applied in the future to like enhance the day.
Like a light show.
Have you seen any of this shit?
Yeah, crazy. It's awesome.
The stuff that looks just like real,
like those 3D like visual stuff. Yeah. I think in some cases, like
maybe
in terms of like
wedding.
a production or something like that,
maybe like a very high
end
wedding.
Yeah, we'll see shit like that in Miami.
You're gonna have like a hologram
in Miami. Yes.
Yeah.
You think either like a Tupac hologram in Miami?
Yeah,
sure
or an Avicii.
It won't even look like a hologram. It'll look like he's there.
Yeah. No, he'll be there. Literally.
He will literally be there.
Yeah. That's insane. They like when you think about it. I'm sure that could be something that is down the road. You know,
people doing drugs are just gonna die everywhere.
It's bad.
It's just gonna be like like bad trips all over.
Yeah.
Is it my turn or your turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, I guess I should just go down the line. What do you think is the best wedding add-on that you can have for your DJ? Like a photo booth, sax player, lighting?
Yeah, I think live music is a huge thing, just in terms of the engagement and like the different layers and dynamic that you can have with your musical experience. I think live music is huge. You know, when you add a saxophone player or a drummer, we call it fusion, to your DJ. I mean, you guys know it's the next level stuff. And listen, so many people like they'll bounce between wanting to have a band or wanting to have a DJ, and you can have both.
Yeah,
you can. Cool. And not for nothing, it's at a fraction of what it would cost you to have a band. You know, some bands are great. Don't get me wrong. There are so many bands that I admire that I think are amazing, but when you still want things to be more controlled and DJ driven, you can still have live elements added to the DJ that will really give you the best of both worlds when it comes to music and your experience on the dance floor. I mean, our saxophone players are amazing. Like we've got guys on their backs, like playing the sax. Like
we've
they're
seen
on
it.
top. Like
we've seen it. Yeah,
it's no joke. We have full drum kits. I'm talking like
it's
not just a couple of drums here or there where the guys are playing along to it. Like no, we have full Travis Barker drum kits, and like the brides and the grooms are getting behind there and they're smashing away at the drums and they're having the best time ever. You know, that type of stuff, you can't get that with other things. Like and really like, and not to throw a shot at bands, how many times do you see the bride and groom like up on the stage with the band?
Very little.
I think we've only seen like I think personally, I've only seen like 2 band experiences, and it's multiple times with the same band that blew me away.
Same. And they're untraditional weddings where they are basically they're not weddings. They're like
they're
party.
performers.
They're
They're like in there performing.
It's like
and
they're
stuff.
putting a concert on.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a 2-hour
But a regular
concert.
standard like wedding band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the same experience.
Wedding bands kind of
They kind of suck.
Not to hate on wedding bands, but they take a lot of breaks. And that's the thing is like a lot of people don't realize, but wedding bands will go on break like every 40 minutes and like they'll take like a 10-15 minute break where there's nothing's going on.
Generalization, but yes, from our experience.
I know at least 4 bands on Long Island that take long breaks. So maybe I'm generalizing a little bit, but the bands I've been working with lately take a lot of breaks.
I think the number one thing with bands is that you don't have a lot of flexibility with their music. Like they have their sets. You could probably pick and choose, like kind of give them an idea more or less of what you want to hear. But like, you're not going to go up to a band and say like, "Hey, I want to hear this song."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, the bands are going to be upset.
how many bands? How many bands are playing Bad Bunny?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh my God, I love Bad Bunny.
We all do. But no, like,
So
and listen, there are so many amazing bands out there, and I'm not like, but you have way more flexibility with music with a DJ. And if you really want that live music experience, cool. Here's a sax player.
Yeah.
Here's a drummer. Here's an electric violinist. We can have that same experience. So
love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Shoot
Now,
at.
yeah, I think is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Yes. So we are kind of known for trash and horror stories and crazy stories here at the vendor table.
Give it to me.
Hi. We want to hear.
Spill the tea, John.
Do you have a wedding day horror story? It could be like, high details, obviously, keep it anonymous, all that stuff. But do you have a wedding day horror story that you could share that stands out in your head that this was a shit show?
Oh, man. It was one of the first weddings I ever did.
It's always like
exciting.
that.
It's always like
It's
that.
always like when we first start.
Always like that. And typical drunken guest that comes in and like we're in the middle of a parent dance. This guest brings his +1, or I think he was the +1, I don't remember, but brings his date out to the dance floor in the middle of the bride's dance with her dad.
Oh no.
And like shares the dance with this girl. And like, poor girl, I think he was the +1 and she was like the friend of the family or whatever it was.
God.
Like that was out there, and like she is trying her hardest to not be pulled to the dance floor. This guy like dragged her to the dance floor and is sitting there and he's wasted. Like I've seen a lot of drunken people at weddings, and I'm sure you guys have also, but he's so wasted. And eventually like they escort him back to his seat, but like the bride's dance with her dad was completely ruined because of this asshole. And well, it gets better.
No.
It gets better.
No.
Then the groom has his dance with his mom.
No.
And this guy proceeds to bring the girl out again
Oh my God.
for a dance.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And like people are yelling at him. They're telling us to like stop the music. Like I've got people in the DJ booth like, do something about this. Get this guy out of here. What's going on? And again, I'm like a 20-year-old, and I'm sitting here.
I'm the DJ.
That might have been my 5th wedding,
Oh
4th
my
wedding. I don't
God.
know. I was so like,
Yeah.
so I had no idea what to do. After the dances were done, this guy got escorted out by the entire groomsmen, the bridal party. And everybody there went outside to watch this guy get his ass kicked.
Oh
Really?
my God.
Within 10 minutes, the only people left in the room were me, my DJ, and the bride and groom.
Wow.
Sitting across from
Fuck.
us. This guy was getting his ass whooped. There's probably like an hour or so left in the wedding. And I'm looking at my DJ, who has like way more experience than I did at the time. What the hell do we do? And we're just playing background music. And like, I felt so bad for the bride and groom, but like, yeah, I guess, some guests, like they just make the stupidest,
Poor decisions?
the dumbest decisions ever.
Very
and
That's a bad decision.
I have
Really
had
bad.
I have had like this is recently. This happened this year. I've had it was just like a family member in the middle of the father-daughter dance. He walked up onto the dance floor in their face.
What?
Taking pictures.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Taking
I've seen
pictures?
something like
Taking
that happen
pictures,
too.
but
kidding?
like right there, like
Yeah.
on the only people on the dance floor are this person and the bride and groom.
I can't stand that.
It's
Yeah.
just like,
You know what I hate with people with their iPads?
Oh, yeah, don't get
Like you have that like
you and I share that.
yeah. You could do us with the
I
people and
can't
iPads.
even deal. Who brings an iPad to
Grandma.
take pictures?
Grandma.
Thank you.
Grandma.
I ask this all the
always grandma.
time. Like, who brings a
Of all
fucking
things,
iPad to
It's
a
a
wedding?
grandma. She can't see. You know, she needs a big ass, 8-inch screen to take a fucking photo.
can't.
Yeah, it
Drives me nuts.
It drives us crazy because we deal with it in ceremonies because they're leaning
Sure,
in the aisle,
yeah.
right?
You would
Like,
not
and, like,
catch my 84-year-old grandmother with an iPad. She could barely hold up her own body.
They don't leave their.
Why can't
iPads
people
alone.
just enjoy weddings?
Thank you.
Why do they have to be the photographer? They have to go request songs. They have to go do this, do that, the other thing. I had this one guy that came in, and we did an event. This was recently too. And he's like, he comes to DJ with. He goes, "Hey guys, I got a full drum kit in my truck right now."
Yeah.
I wish I was joking. I was joking. Hey guys, I got a full drum kit in my truck right now.
Can I jam out?
Can I jam out with you?
Yeah.
And we're looking at him.
Slap
we're
the
like,
bass?
We're like,
Yeah.
dude, we don't have an answer for you. I was like, you have to talk to
No,
the
you're good.
venue and the bride and groom. And like, he went to the bride and groom, was like, I want to play the drums. And like, it's such a shitty position for the bride and groom to be in.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you're the uncle or you're the whoever. And you're like,
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you no, but at the same time, like,
No, fuck you, Uncle Jimmy. You gotta fucking sit down.
So
Sorry.
long story short, this guy just makes a ruckus
Yeah.
and brings his drum set in.
Oh, fuck
Starts
off.
banging on the drums and doing all this, and he's way louder than the DJ. And we're sitting there, we're like,
Oh,
okay, this
man.
is horrible.
How long did it go on for?
Probably a good hour.
No one
Yeah.
stopped him.
That's
no one
so
stopped him.
long!
Some people are too nice, man. Some people are just too nice. They can't just like tell people no.
I mean, as a photographer, I tell them to shut the fuck up.
Oh,
I mean,
dude, it's-
Jesus! Like, just like you could tell it when people. Oh god,
The
yeah,
couples
people are
they
too
feel
nice.
they feel bad though. Like that's one of those things. Like they want to have a good time and they want their family like be a part of things and like.
Oh.
But
I don't know.
here's
Yeah.
a crazy thought.
I
Go to the wedding and just enjoy it.
just like
Yeah.
have fun.
Have fun.
Be a guest. Enjoy.
With people.
That's us. If we like, we talked about it on a previous episode, but like, we would never show up to a wedding with our camera as professional photographers. We're never going to do that because
I barely have my phone out, like
Yeah,
at
like, we
all.
wanna
I don't
enjoy
even
the
have a
moment.
picture with the bride, like at the
Yeah.
my,
Like,
my
last
one of
one.
my best friends. We didn't take one together, like
Yeah.
at all, because there was somebody there doing it.
yeah. So that's the best thing is just to disconnect and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think you have the last question.
Oh, Miss Squeezy. Do you have a dream wedding you would love to host, MC, or DJ?
Could be anything. Could be location. It could be celebrity.
Celebrity.
Couple. Maybe just anything.
I've done a handful of celebrity stuff, which has
Who?
been pretty cool.
Can
I
you
don't know
name
if I
them?
can
Can you
say.
say? Okay, never mind.
I don't know if I could say.
Tell me off camera.
I'll tell you off camera. But I don't know. I think, kind of venturing into the Florida markets, I definitely want to get into some of their venues. Like the Breakers is like such an iconic venue down there, So I think I would say something, along those lines.
I feel like Florida house weddings are probably insane. Like renting,
Mansion
like
weddings.
mansion, like just like
Insane stuff.
I always picture like Bad Boys 2, like style mansion,
100%.
like just crazy
like
DJ
that,
nights and
yeah,
stuff like that.
1,000%.
Like
So
Michael Bay music, all that stuff. Just
Oh, yeah.
bring the heat, bring
Yeah.
the noise. Like just that'd be cool.
I think that's going to be the coolest thing in this like next little venture of ours is to like just expand on doing new things because we've done everything there is to do up here up north for the most part. So I think just being in a new market, a new area, and again, like I view Miami in South Florida as like I love New York. Don't get me wrong, but that's the like entertainment
That's
capital of the
Yeah.
that's the mecca of
fucking
music.
world.
Yeah.
Like anything and everything is there. So I think one of those like iconic venues like the Breakers or something like that will be really cool to do.
Nice. All
Sick.
right. Cool. All right. So we have a segment that we're going to implement. We were on a podcast. Our friend Adriana from the Prenup did this with us, and we loved it so much that we wanted to do our own segment. It's like this or that or rapid fire, pretty much. Like just blurt it out, like whatever comes to mind, right? Okay. So we're gonna alternate back and forth between these questions. But all right, so we'll start it off. So uplighting color for a room,
like a dark blue. Yeah, it's intimate. It's fun.
Indoor or outdoor reception? Indoor.
Okay.
Music control.
Yeah.
Easy. All right, so wedding on a beach or wedding in a mansion?
Per format, wedding at a mansion. My eventual wedding will be on a beach. I don't know if that's a good answer, but yeah, I want to get married on a beach.
Nice.
Boy bands or emo music?
Fucking emo music all day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
All right.
All day.
Do you like a good, like, this is off the this or that, but like we call it emo hour when you guys go into like Blink,
a whole set,
like
you know
all
the
that
deal.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta ask this fucking question.
Oof.
Oh, I gotta ask this question before we'll get back to this.
We'll get back to it.
There's
We're
only
not
one.
We're not going anywhere.
There's only one left after that.
Like Mr. Brightside.
Yes.
Iconic. Great song.
Great
right?
song.
Great weddings. It's become a staple.
Will never not be played at a wedding.
Right? Okay. Do people realize this song is about infidelity?
No one cares.
I don't think anyone cares at all.
It's such a
I
banger.
think it's a banger. I sing it at the top of my lungs. I think it's awesome at a wedding. Yeah. It's literally a song.
I feel like there's a lot of songs that get played that are not about kosher things.
Great. I'm like, I like you jam out in the car, and I started listening to the lyrics of the song. I was like, this song is all about infidelity. It's great though. Great wedding banger. Top of my list.
I'm gonna start paying attention to the songs that get played that are about like not good things at weddings.
There's like
there's a lot.
It's a lot of the emo songs too.
Oh yeah.
Not for nothing.
I mean they're emo.
Oh, it's emo.
Yeah. Groom's bride is
whore.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
who plays that at a wedding?
I mean
Every DJ.
Every
ever.
DJ.
And it's requested. So
love it. Well, we had to ask. I had to ask that question.
Yeah.
Like as soon as we talked about emo music, I was like, damn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Lauren, last question.
Do you prefer to DJ or MC?
Oh, it's so hard to say. I'll say DJ, just because I like to create the vibe. I think that's really doing it musically. I think that's just like the coolest thing. But I love MCing because I get to connect more with the couples that way. So it's kind of like I enjoy both. But if I had to, like, if it was my last wedding ever, I'd probably want to DJ it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. Damn. Well, this has been.
We smashed it.
Yeah.
Killed it.
This has been a lot of fun.
Woo.
You know, we are thankful for you to come on.
I'm thankful you guys had me on.
Yeah, this is
super cool.
You're guest number 2.
Guest number 2.
Yeah, you're guest number 2. We know we squeezed you in before you're going down to Florida.
Yeah, I'm leaving next week actually. So I'm gonna hibernate down there for the winter.
I'm so jealous.
And then I'll be back here maybe March or April.
Very jealous.
That sounds so great.
You're like
I get to retire. I'm literally retired.
I'm not banned from
retired.
Florida.
Florida's canceling you. You can't go down to Florida.
I mean,
I need
no.
I need to go fight
I'm
Lauren's battles down in Florida.
She's just getting us canceled.
I did say one of the last round of episodes that Miami, Fort Lauderdale, the Keys, you guys are cool. All right, you're all cool.
Who's got like who do you have beef with?
No
Florida?
one.
You're
Just
lying.
the people who are like upset with me for saying that Florida cocktail hour sucks.
There are cocktail hours everywhere that suck.
Yeah. But like
I went to
I do feel like anywhere but New York cocktail hours like aren't New York cocktail hours.
We always get hate over the food comments.
Yeah.
I went to a wedding.
A fierce thing about food right now.
I went to a wedding as a guest in Princeton, New Jersey. I've got nothing against Princeton, New Jersey, by the way, but
you
this
do
was
now.
my one experience. And when I tell you, there was one plate of shrimp cocktail and one plate of like celery and like
oh my god
vegetables for 200 people in a hotel somewhere. The worst cocktail hour I've ever had in my life.
A cocktail hour. That's
and
just
I think I was like at Giorgio's the night before or something like that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like,
ridiculous cocktail hour.
Ridiculous. There's so many. We do things really well here.
Over
in
the
New
top.
York.
Everything's over the top.
So over the top.
So over the top. Like it's funny. Lauren mentioned this a few episodes ago, but we did a wedding at the TWO Hotel, and there was a guest there from West Virginia who literally asked her, like,
no, that was at
was that TWO?
That was at Quandra Hall.
Oh, that was Quandra Hall.
Yeah.
Hall.
Which isn't even like that.
It wasn't even that
like,
big of a cocktail hour,
yeah.
but they were so used to seeing just like cheesy crackers.
Yeah.
at cocktail hours that they were like, "Is this dinner? Like, we haven't even sat down yet." And I was
and
like,
then next
"No."
thing you know, you get a salad, and then you get, "What would you like for your main course?" And you're just so full.
Yeah.
Well, that's Long Island weddings.
And that's why Florida hates me.
That's what Florida does hate.
Florida needs to get over it.
Yeah.
I probably should tread lightly with Florida.
Yeah, I would. You're going down there. I would. You know.
It's all fun and games.
Sorry, I'll make up for it on the music and the entertainment for you guys.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, Jon, it's been a pleasure having you on here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for coming on. Where can they find you?
So you guys can find me personally at Jon Suarez DJ on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff, or X it's called now, whatever. Thank
Barf.
you, Elon. For Absolute, you could follow us at Absolute DJs LI, and our Florida team is Absolute DJs _FL. Not too hard.
Nice.
So
all right, we'll drop them in the description of the episode for you guys.
Yes.
So
love it.
Awesome, Lauren. Where can they find you?
At LaurenO'BrienPhoto.com and Lauren O'Brien Photo on Instagram. My personal account is the Feral Photog, as mentioned previously in this episode. And Michael, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Michael Kazara Photo on Instagram, TikTok, as well as my website. And you could find us at the Vendor Table Pod on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube, and our Facebook group too. Guys, it's been fun. We'll catch you next time.
Okay, bye.